Are you thinking of moving to Texas? Do you think you will really save money by moving to Texas? Where in Texas should you move? These are just few of the questions I will be answering today. Hi, I'm KG, and my family and I have just recently moved from California to Kansas, and we wish we had so much more information available to us, and that's why I'm here to help you today. But first, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. So let's talk about Texas weather. I did my Air Force boot camp over in San Antonio and Shepherd Air Force Base in Texas. One day it was really sunny, and then the next day it would be hailing. The next day after that it will be sunny again, and then raining that afternoon. Texas weather is bipolar. Although they have crazy weather, the temperature varies between 39 degrees and 96 degrees, so that's not bad at all. If you're worried about the food scene, Texas has one of the very best food scenes in the States. Because it is so diverse, you can find anything from Tex-Mex to Cajun seafood boils. Let's talk about sports, y'all. Football. Texans find football as a national sport. Fun fact. Texas is the second most diverse state after California. We're talking about race diversity, ethnicity, we're talking about industries, and linguistics. If by any chance you're from California thinking of moving to Texas, stick around because I'll talk about the costs of moving interstate. One of the things you need to know is that Texas is home to the major corporate headquarters and Fortune 500 companies. Texas is also famous for their southern hospitality. So let's get to the good part, numbers. The unemployment rate for Texas is 6.9% in October 2020, which is down from 8.3% back in September of 2020. Let's talk about houses. How much are they going for in Texas? So according to my research, it's about $195,000 for a house, which isn't bad compared to the national average. According to Dave Ramsey, it's around $320,000. That is a really great deal. You can probably find a sprawling mansion with a ranch and a barn and all the works. But if you are not ready to buy a home, let's talk about rental rates. For a studio in Texas, the average is about $738 versus a national average of $821. For a one bedroom, it's $841 to rent, and the national average is around $930. Two bedrooms, it's about $1,036 in Texas, and the national average is $1,148. So it seems like you're saving quite a bit of money there. You know, you don't think about it, but it adds up. Let's talk about politics. Texas is 52.1% Republican. So if you're a Republican, it's the state for you. If you're curious about how religious Texas is, 57.6% religious. That's compared to the national average of 49.4%. I did not know this. This saddens me a lot because for us, religion is important. I'll talk about tax rates in a second, but first let's talk about crime rate. If you're really considering moving to Texas, you should hear this out first. Did you know that violent crimes in Texas is higher than the national average? Violent crimes in Texas is 24.8 versus a national average of 22.7. If you're curious what violent crimes include, it includes 4 offenses: murder and manslaughter, forcible rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. Now, the rate for property crimes in Texas is also higher than the national average. Texas is at 38 and the national average is 35.4. What is included in property crimes? Burglary, larceny, arson, and motor vehicle theft. Okay, that sounds disturbing, but again, the crime rate varies all over Texas, so you can definitely look around. If that's something you want me to talk about, then let me know in the comments below. On the brighter side, let's look at education. In Texas, there are 15 students to 1 teacher. That is actually better than the national average of 16 to 1. Now let's talk about the exciting part, taxes. As you probably know, Texas is one of the 7 states that do not have any state taxes. This is great news for you and also great news for military people because they don't have to pay state income taxes in Texas. The Sales tax in Texas is around 6.25%. That also applies to new car purchases. Purchases. Overall, you can't really compare California to Texas because it's like comparing apples to oranges. But tax-wise, if you're poor, you actually get taxed less in California. And the richer you are, you get taxed less in Texas. The middle classes in both states are probably around the same. There's definitely value in not getting your income taxed by the state. Now, as promised, I will talk about the average cost of moving from California to Texas. The average price is around $2,200 to $4,000 depending on where you're starting and where you're ending up. Every interstate move depends on mileage, so you have to do your calculations based on that. Interstate moves are actually very seasonal. If you move in March, it's around $3,800 to $6,500. If you move in July, it's way more. It's around $6,200 to $10,300. You also got to factor in that a lot of people are moving, so of course the law of supply and demand, the more people moving, the more expensive moving costs will be. Let's talk about the best cities to live in Texas. First off, we have Dallas. Dallas has a higher median salary. Next, we got Houston. San Antonio would be a great place to live. If you like to bike and you like farmers markets, then Corpus Christi is for you. For young folks starting a family, Beaumont would be a great bet. For the cool, energetic, and young professionals, Austin would be amazing. Plano has a very low crime rate. And if you're looking for that small town feel, then College Station is for you. There you go, folks. We're all done. Thank you for watching my show, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeehaw!